I have great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today. I spoke with the king. I spoke with the Crown Prince yesterday, and he strongly said that he had nothing to do with this. This was at a lower level. And some really bad things happened to Otto. Some really, really bad things.
Why are you?
But he tells me that he didn't know about it, and I will take him at his word.
What you just watched has President Trump under fire from critics who wonder why he keeps taking the word of dictators and autocrats, including here in Hanoi, when the president said he believes North Korea's Kim Jong-un when Kim claims he didn't know what happened to American college student Otto Warmbier. You remember Warmbier was tortured in North Korean custody, returned 17 months later to his family in a coma, and died a few days after that.
I don't believe he knew about it.
Did he tell you that he did not, did Kim Jong-un tell you?
He felt badly about it. I did speak to him. He felt very badly, but he knew the case very well, but he knew it later. In those prisons and those camps, you have a lot of people, and some really bad things happened to Otto. Some really, really bad things.
Why are you?
But he tells me that he didn't know about it, and I will take him at his word.
I'm joined now by the former U.S. ambassador to the UN, Bill Richardson. Ambassador Richardson, thank you for coming on. You know North Korea well. You've negotiated with this regime. So let me put this to you. Is it at all possible that Kim would not have known what was happening with Warmbier?
It is totally impossible. I've spent a year trying to get Otto Warmbier out. My executive director, Mickey Bergman, went to Pyongyang to try to get him out, bring him home. It is inconceivable that such a high-profile American prisoner like Otto Warmbier, that Kim Jong-un would not know. Now, what's interesting is the foreign ministry officials that we were negotiating with from North Korea to get Otto back, they told us that they didn't know that he was in that very, very vegetative state, that horrendous state that he was in. But for Kim Jong-un, the leader, and the intelligence community is the ones that were apprehending and kept Otto Warmbier in custody. So for them not to have told the leader of the country in such a high-profile case is totally inconceivable.
So given that, Ambassador, what message does it send to people around the world when President Trump says, as he did, that he takes the word of Kim on this?
Well, it's kind of consistent with the president. It's very unfortunate, bowing to autocratic leaders like Putin. No, we take President Putin's word that they didn't interfere in the American election when there's massive evidence. The same with Duterte of the Philippines. There's so many cases in Saudi Arabia, the Khashoggi murder. You know, when our own intelligence community contradicts the president, the billions of dollars we spend on spy satellites, on human spies, and the president takes the word of dictators over that excellent intelligence community that he have is dispiriting. It's disappointing.
You mentioned the death of Jamal Khashoggi. We know that, and this has kind of flown under the radar, that Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, a top White House advisor, and others met with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman this week for the first time since Khashoggi's death. Can you talk through how you see that relationship developing and what you make of that?
Well, look, Saudi Arabia and the United States, very important alliance, energy alliance, military alliance, intelligence alliance. But, you know, here we are also talking to Saudi Arabia about selling them very sensitive nuclear technology. And somehow in the White House that was shielded from appropriate legal and ethical officials. That's very disturbing. With Khashoggi, I think we've given that government a walk. In other words, we're not going to press you on it. And that's unfortunate, too, because it sends a message on political prisoners, freedom of the press, that overall a strategic alliance underscores more important than human rights. And we're a nation of democracy and human rights. We should always stand for that. Political prisoners, American hostages like Otto Warmbier, like Khashoggi.
Human rights abuse is, of course, one of the big issues for many people around the world as they look at the North Korean regime. Ambassador Bill Richardson, I really appreciate your perspective, your unique perspective on all of this. Thanks for coming on the show. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.